Hello and welcome to The Analyst. I'm Nikita Rana, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about steganography and Trojans. Let's start with steganography. This is a practice of hiding a secret message in an ordinary message or object to avoid detection. Don't confuse this with cryptography, in which data is encrypted and is made unreadable to anyone except the actual recipient. Now, in cryptography, what can happen is that a third party can intercept the message, and while they may not be able to read it, they'll still know that two parties are exchanging secret messages and will know that something is amiss. Steganography will, on the other hand, hide the message, for example, in an ordinary looking image or video file, not arousing any suspicion at all. This can be very helpful in countries like China and North Korea, where governments heavily monitor their citizens and there is strict control over who can use cryptography. Steganography is security by obfuscation and so not considered as safe as cryptography, but this weakness can be overcome by encrypting the data before it is hidden. Steganography is not a new technique. It's been around for millennia. Some of the earliest recorded use cases trace back to ancient Greece. In fact, if you look at the word steganography, it's derived from the Greek word steganos, meaning hidden, and the word graph, which means to write. In the 15th century, people were writing in invisible ink between lines in messages, and during the Cold War, messages were hidden inside a microdot, which could be as small as 1 millimeter. Nowadays, steganography uses media files like videos or images for the easy insertion of information because these formats have large sizes. For example, somebody can easily change the color of a pixel slightly, which is invisible to the naked eye, but is enough to add information. A single image can have information that's equivalent to 10 chapters of a novel. Online publishers can use this technique to add hidden watermarks, and this can help them trace the source of a leak in case of piracy. Steganography is also used by the bad guys. Hackers use PowerShell scripts or macros inside Word documents, which, when read, install malicious software on your computer. It is also used to send instructions to already running malware using innocent looking Twitter messages. The malware scans Twitter, which doesn't look suspicious to the antivirus, and decodes the hidden message inside the tweet. Steganography has become extremely common now. Even script kiddies are using it. It's become extremely difficult to detect steganography, but it's not impossible. However, these defense techniques are related to other aspects of the attack and not the steganography itself. Institutions are increasingly dealing with bad actors smuggling data out of the organization for industrial espionage or insider trading. The techniques used to stem this revolve around limiting network access, monitoring users who access the network, restricting file modification, and sanitizing the data before it leaves the network. There's an important historical example of steganography. Like we said earlier, it's the practice of hiding a secret in a message or an object. In this case, the object was a wooden horse. We're talking about the story of the Trojan War. After a 10-year siege of the city of Troy by the Greeks, they built a wooden horse and sailed away. The people of Troy, believing that the war was over, dragged the horse inside the city. But the horse was hollow from inside and contained Greek soldiers. At night, they scrambled out and opened the city gates as Greek ships sailed back under the cover of darkness. The Greeks attacked the unprepared people of Troy and won the war. Inspired by this story, a computer malware disguised as a legitimate software is called a Trojan. But not only are there software Trojans, there are also hardware Trojans. We're going to look at hardware Trojans. A hardware Trojan is the malicious modification of an integrated circuit. Hence, it's not a software but a hardware backdoor. The fear of a hardware backdoor is one of the reasons why the US is pushing its allies to not buy equipment from Huawei and is placing sanctions on the company. Hardware Trojan are a major issue because a lot of companies outsource their manufacturing to China, and anyone that has access to manufacturing can introduce some change to the final product.
In governmental IT departments, hardware Trojan are a well known problem when buying hardware such as keyboards, mice, and other network equipment. A keyboard, for example, can contain a keylogger through which then your attacker can know all your user IDs and passwords. Now, how does one deploy hardware Trojan? For one, you can introduce counterfeit chips into the market. In 2012, the US government had detected counterfeit chips in the defense supply chain. You can reduce the effectiveness of the random number generator inside the chip, compromising its cryptographic capabilities. Hardware Trojan can even be installed during the chip design phase, either by the company or a rogue employee. It's very difficult and time consuming to detect hardware Trojan, and hence it's always better to buy from trusted sources. That's all we have on today's episode. We'll see you next time.